When you think things are bad, when you feel sour and blue, when you start to get mad, you should do what I do. Just tell yourself, Ducky, you're really quite lucky. Some people are much, oh ever so much, oh much more unlucky than you. Hi girls, it's Friday. I hope everyone recognizes what I just read for you. What I read for you is the beginning of the song that is talked about in Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are, written by the one and only Dr. Seuss. And this is the theme for my vlog today. Did I ever tell you how lucky you are? I don't like hearing people complain. I don't like hearing people take things that they have for granted. It kind of drives me crazy. So when people take things for granted, I tell them, and I tell them that they shouldn't, because there are people who have it worse off than them. Granted, I will admit that the way in which I do this isn't always the best. Like when someone complains about getting 6 or 7 hours of sleep and I couldn't fall asleep until 5 in the morning because I have sleep issues, I tell them, don't complain, I only got 3 hours of sleep. Or insert ridiculously small number of hours of sleep here. I just want people to understand that though they may be unhappy about something or whatever, you know, it's not the end of the world. They don't have it the worst off. There's always somebody who has it a little worse off than you. I'm not saying I never complain. I definitely complain. But what I'm saying is that if there's something that's bothering me and it really drives me nuts, but there's somebody next to me who's worse off, I'm not going to complain about it to them. As a math tutor, I have to help people get through the classes that they need for their degree. Not classes that they want to take, classes that they have to take by the university standards. And sometimes they struggle with some of the concepts, and that's understandable. Everyone understands things differently, and some people struggle with some things. But when they tell me that they're struggling and they look really stressed out because of it, I'm not going to tell them, you know what, there's something in my Calculus 4 class that I don't understand, so don't worry about it. I'm not going to complain about something from my calculus class, you know, the class that I chose to take for the minor that I chose to have, when this person's having trouble on something in a class that they need to take and they need to understand it. I guess it just bothers me that not everyone quite sees it that way. Not everyone quite understands that they don't always have the right to complain. Believe me, I understand that I don't always have the right to complain. Sometimes it doesn't stop me and I realize that and I catch myself and I feel like an idiot afterwards. Like I said, sometimes when I tell people to stop complaining, I don't do it in the best way. It's usually because they're complaining about sleep and having assignments when they're not the only one who knows what it's like to not get a full night's sleep, and they're not the only one to have a lot of assignments. So I kind of let them know, hey, you're not alone, I'm there too. I can understand that people kind of take that differently. They take that as, no, my life is worse than yours. My roommates make fun of me for this hand thing. Whatever. It's not an effort to make my situation or my life seem worse than yours. It's an effort to make people understand that they could be worse off. One of the main reasons that I as a person don't like when people take things for granted, and I don't like when they complain about things that they really don't have the right to be complaining about, is because of some people who have been present in my life in the past. Those are kind of personal things, and if you want to know about them, I intend to blog about them, link downstairs, at some point within the weekend when I'm really sick of studying for my exams next week. It's the kind of thing that's a bit longer and a bit heavier, and I would rather sit there and figure out how to perfectly word the situations. I think I'm going to just have to completely memorize the entire story of Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are, or whenever someone starts complaining about something, I'll just go off and say, and suppose that you lived in that forest in France when the average young person just hasn't a chance to escape from the perilous pants-eating plants, but your pants are safe, you're a fortunate guy, and you ought to be saying, how lucky am I. I love Dr. Seuss. Oh goodness, I should be wearing my Dr. Seuss shirt for this video. I totally wish I'd realized this sooner because I'm not re-recording everything. Thank you ladies for all the wonderful videos this week. I have very much enjoyed them, from talking about saving the internet to talking about learning how to knit and talking about wonderful internet fun people activities. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will leave you with one last thought. Thank goodness for all of the things you are not. Thank goodness you're not something someone forgot and left all alone in some punkerish place, like a rusty tin coat hanger hanging in space. Lizzie, I'll see you Monday.